What are examples of environmental injustice in marginalized communities? Have you ever wondered how environmental issues impact different communities? Today, we will discuss examples of environmental injustice faced by marginalized communities. Environmental injustice happens when certain groups, often defined by race, ethnicity, or economic status, bear the brunt of environmental hazards while receiving fewer benefits from protections. This issue is closely tied to social and economic inequalities that shape how people interact with their environment. One major example is air pollution. Communities of color, including Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous populations, often live near factories, highways, and refineries. This leads to higher rates of respiratory illnesses like asthma and lung disease. For instance, studies show that Black and Puerto Rican Americans experience significantly higher asthma rates due to environmental and occupational hazards. They are exposed to fine particulate matter, a harmful air pollutant, at levels that contribute to serious health issues. Another example involves fence-line communities. These neighborhoods are located right next to hazardous facilities like oil refineries and chemical plants. In the United States, many of these areas have populations that are predominantly Black. Living so close to these toxic sources increases the risk of heart disease, cancer, and other health problems. Toxic waste and contaminated water are also significant concerns. Indigenous communities, such as the Mescalero Apache in New Mexico, have faced environmental exploitation from uranium mining and nuclear waste storage. These activities degrade their land and water, disrupt traditional ways of life, and worsen poverty. Many Native American lands have been used for military or industrial purposes without proper consent, leading to long-term harm. Economic marginalization plays a role as well. Environmental hazards can drive businesses away from affected areas, limiting job opportunities and perpetuating poverty. This cycle makes it harder for communities to access education, health care, and housing, reinforcing social inequalities. The roots of environmental injustice often trace back to histories of colonialism, slavery, and racial capitalism. Marginalized groups have been systematically deprived of land and subjected to harmful policies. Discriminatory housing practices, like redlining, have confined these communities to areas with environmental hazards, further entrenching social and spatial inequalities. Anthropology helps us understand how cultural, social, and political factors intersect with environmental issues. It shows that environmental injustice is not just about physical exposure but also about power dynamics and historical context. For example, anthropologists study how the displacement of indigenous peoples leads to a loss of traditional knowledge and worsens ecological degradation. By understanding these examples of environmental injustice, we can better support community activism and policy changes. Anthropologists work with affected communities to document their experiences, advocate for fair resource distribution, and promote culturally appropriate environmental management. This approach highlights the importance of local knowledge and social justice in addressing environmental harms. In summary, environmental injustice manifests in various ways, including disproportionate exposure to pollution, toxic waste, and economic disinvestment. By examining these patterns, we can work towards a more equitable future for all communities.